Hi, this is Amber Hurley from Amber Hurley Entertainment. Today I'll be sitting down with Jay Whitaker from Organic Money. How you
What's
doing
going on?
today, Jay?
Good. How are you? Good.
Good, good, good.
All right.
So how you feeling about what's currently going on in today's time?
It's like a worst nightmare coming true. It's a lot. It's like a black swan event. It's something that was hard to predict as far as what event was going to get us to this point.
Right.
But it was inevitable. It was going to happen.
Okay.
And the biggest issue I have is like the economic turmoil what's going to have on the country, and that's actually bouncing back from this.
Okay. So I mean, we've been talking about this for a while now, as far as just gearing up for a crisis in general. Did you know that the crises would hit like this, as far as this pandemic with the coronavirus?
I was watching it because I do a lot of research, so I had seen the effect it had on China, and I knew it was going to be a potential issue. So once I got to that realization, of course I put it into the family text group and let the family know and stuff like that because I knew it was a serious thing that was evolving that could spread somewhere everywhere. But as far as that, I know this was going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. No, I didn't know this per se was going to be it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This pandemic. I don't think nobody could have guessed it. But there was some quote unquote conspiracy theorists who have already put this out here, including Bill Gates.
Okay.
He talked about it, and he even have a company that's a biotech company that I'm looking into that actually is coming up with a cure for the coronavirus. So it's already been said before that things like this could happen, but I don't know to this effect that anybody ever thought something like this could put the world in.
Yes, this severe.
Yeah.
If we could just fast forward a little bit, can you tell me a little bit about Organic Money?
Yeah. So Organic Money is basically physical gold and silver. I learned about gold and silver after taking this course. It's Rich Dad Poor Dad course. It was a great course. I had just graduated from college. I went to Virginia State. Got my accounting degree with a concentration in finance.
Gotcha.
I started working at the shipyard as cost analyst. And I slowly started seeing how, hey, I want to do something different with what I want to do in life. So I started reading more. I wanted to get in real estate. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad book. I took this class. And as I was learning a lot about real estate, it just helped. Taking those classes helped me transform my thought process.
Okay.
And it helped me start my reading. I really didn't read even in college. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
to be honest, and to actually start reading after college, it was great. It was like a awakening for me. So I started doing a lot of research on housing, and I was figuring out how we was in a crisis in 2008, 2009. And that's when I graduated from college. So I'm like, that's probably why it was so hard for me to get a job at first.
Right.
So I just started putting things together, man. What I've noticed from real estate was that what was going to be bigger than real estate was physical gold and silver.
Okay.
So I was kind of upset, and I was like, why nobody ever told us about this? You know what I mean?
And where did you get that information from?
So it was a class I was taking, the Rich Dad Poor Dad class, and one of the speakers, he had threw that out there. He wasn't dwelling on it, but it just stuck with me always. Because I always like to be ahead of the game. So when he said that, I was like, well, it's going to be better than real estate. Like, why? Let me look into this a little more. Mm-hmm. And that basically just opened up the gates to where we're at now. And basically with Organic Money, I started a movement to raise awareness. And I also started a clothing line so people can be like walking billboards to help get the message out there as far as what's going on. Because aside from this pandemic happening, it was going to happen anyway.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to raise awareness, especially in our community, because we don't have the understanding of money. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got my degree in accounting with a concentration in finance, and I still didn't know what money was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So if I could ask you a question, what is money?
So money is best described by Mike Maloney.
Okay.
He's an advisor of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he has the best precious metal book in the world. It's called Gold and Silver, and he describes money as being a unit of account, a medium of exchange, portable, durable, divisible, fungible. Fungible means interchangeable, and it also has to have a store of value.
Okay.
So that's what money has to be. The difference between currency and money is that currency doesn't have a store of value. Money does.
Okay.
So a lot of people, with a lot of rappers and guys putting money, quote unquote, money to their ears, that's not money. That's currency. And this is the scary part of what's going on now, because economically everything has stopped. It's like businesses are shut down, and when currency stops, it dies.
Okay.
All right. So what has to happen right now is the Federal Reserve Bank, they have to actually print this money out in order to keep things flowing, because people are stopped. They can't go to work. We on quarantine.
Right.
You know, some states are on lockdown. They're talking about a potential national lockdown to where we can't do anything. So how is the economic going to be able to thrive in times like this when it was already sick at first before the pandemic happened?
Okay. So with that being said, what would be like the proper game plan to move forth with what we got going on right now? Like as far as the pandemic, like how can the people be more aware and more knowledgeable about how we move forth?
Yeah. So basically, this is the best thing about what's going on right now because we're in the financial storm.
Okay.
We have to find our umbrellas. You know what I mean? And not only that, like this is a great time for us to sustain wealth. And it's simple, man. It's buying hard assets. And the rich have always been aware of this. Like I remember I used to laugh at rich people like buying $1,000,000 paintings. Like why are they buying paintings for $1,000,000? Like what does that make? But it holds value. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
An asset, anything that makes you money. A liability, anything that takes money away from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we gotta put our money into those type of vehicles. Because right now, savers are losers. If we still got that shoebox mentality that we had in the 90s, where we were just stashing money, we're losing.
Right.
And
okay.
that is also driven from interest rates with the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve Bank during this pandemic, they just went to zero interest rates. You know what I mean? So you're not making no interest off your money. And what I think they're going to eventually go to is negative interest rates, where they have to charge us to put our money inside these banks. So it's a lot of changes going on, and it's happening at a fast rate. That's why we have to stay in tune with what's going on. That's why I thought doing this interview would be helpful for other people to understand.
Absolutely. So, what if you don't have a lot of money? How can you be effective in a situation where you don't? How can you have an impact if you don't have much money right now?
Right. And silver is the better buy than gold.
Okay. Why do you say that?
So silver is more industrialized. It's used in everyday life. It's used in computers. It's used in laptops. It's used in cell phones. It's used in your TVs. It's used in surgical instruments when you get surgery because it's a biocide. It kills all the germs, and it's needed.
Okay.
For production in some of everything. So it's getting more used. So, and another thing that happened recently was that it broke a record, over 5,000-year-old record of gold to silver ratio. A gold to silver ratio is basically for 1 ounce of gold, it's supposed to be 16 ounces of silver. Now it's at 1 to 124 ounces of silver.
Okay.
So for every 1 ounce of gold, you're buying 124 ounces of silver. And that's a record that's been around for over 5,000 years before ancient Egypt. So what that tells me is that silver has a large correction to make as far as its pricing, and it's going to go up at a faster pace than gold is because it has to correct its normal comparison into gold.
The word. Okay.
Yeah.
So how can the people actually purchase this silver and gold?
Yeah, silver's only $20. So you were saying like, how can you do it if you don't have much money?
Right.
I mean, $20. I mean, they have different ways you can make money now. Man, you can sell old clothes on the internet. You know what I'm saying? You find an old shirt you used to like that you can't wear no more or something. You know what I mean? Like, this is the things we have to do now in order to sustain our wealth. If not, we are going to be poor. The middle class before the pandemic was already shrinking. And now it's going to happen at an even faster rate. So what we have to do now is take what's going to eventually be worthless and use it to buy stuff that's going to sustain our wealth. And that's hard assets like organic money talk about, which is physical gold and silver. If we take the little wealth we have now and buy these things, it's going to help us out as far as wealth is concerned. Because you can look back in history. Not one currency in the world has ever lasted the test of time. Not one. Every currency in the world has died. Every currency that ever has started died. The only money that ever stayed around was physical gold and silver. No one has ever outlasted them historically.
Got you. So pretty much you're saying we need to go into like a financial transition.
For sure. It's a wealth transfer going on right now.
Well,
that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's a wealth transfer. So another thing that's happening too, they're trying to go to a cashless society.
Okay.
To where, the Federal Reserve just admitted they want to do the digital coin. So if they do a digital coin, then that's going to make, basically what they're doing, printing out money, they're killing the dollar, purchasing power. So they understand with them printing out all these trillions trying to get the economy back thriving, that it's going to kill the dollar ultimately. So what they're doing is already trying to get us transitioned to this digital coin so that they can leave the dollar. You know what I mean? Because that's
that
how
makes sense.
Yeah, so it's actually killing us. Like with them printing all this money, you think, okay, yeah, it's gonna help us. We need to revive the economy, but really, it's gonna hurt us in the long run.
Right. No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. What you're saying is making sense. They're pretty much trying to kill the dollar bill, the currency.
Yeah, oh for sure. And before this happened, it was already happening. So after the 2009 crisis in 2008, they started printing money out when that crisis happened. You know, banks was about to shut down. A lot of people wasn't aware of this.
Right.
You know, we so wrapped up in sports and everything else. Like people not in tune with what's really going on. And ATMs were like days away in the United States from not having any money in them.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people fail to realize that.
Wow.
So what happened was they had the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private-owned bank, which is supposed to have been put together by some of the richest people in the world.
Okay.
And they also have shareholders. They basically get money off the world's dollar, because the U.S. is the world's dollar. All right, the way we became the world's dollar was 1944, Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. It's because we had 2/3 of the world's gold. Gold is boss. All right.
Yeah.
And in the financial world, gold always will be boss.
Okay.
So whoever has the most gold on the block is the man. That's why the United States is still the man right now, because supposedly no one knows, nobody's ever seen it. We got 8,000 metric tons of gold.
I remember like 10 years ago, they had started putting those commercials on TV when they were like trying to buy your gold. They didn't care what type of condition or anything it was in. They were just, oh, you have gold, well, we have cash.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I pretty much not really tuned in. Of course, you definitely brought the awareness to us in general, but that's when I realized that it was a transition going on. Yes.
Yeah. So they getting gold at this kind of rate, man. You know, like they know a lot of people have bought gold over the years. You know, even some rappers was getting joked on by how big their change was. I mean, this is our ancestry. Like, you know, gold actually does something to the body. It helps the blood flow in the body. That's a lot of different attributes gold has.
Yes.
And you know, wearing it is a form of, you know, showing your wealth. You know, and gold has always been money. You know, so these guys had those same gold chains down. I mean, just imagine the price. I mean, you got gold right now for an ounce is almost $1,600 for 1 ounce of gold.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's actually an investment.
Absolutely.
You know, even though with jewelry, you're getting less gold in it because it's mixed with metal. So that's why coins is better, because when you buy a coin, it's 0.99%.
It's more pure. Okay.
It's very more pure. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't really wear the purest form of gold because it'll bend, it'll break. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to mix it and get a 14 karat. You know what I mean? Because it's more strength.
Okay. So with what's going on currently in the pandemic, right now the biggest talk is like the stimulus checks. Mm-hmm. Like, what is your take on the stimulus checks?
They gotta pay the people, man. Like, you gotta realize this unemployment is not enough for people to survive on. You know what I mean? Like some people make a certain amount where I think what's the unemployment rate in Virginia? Like $300, $400 a week. That's not enough for people to live off on.
They actually is 600.
They went up 600.
Yes, it's going 600.
Yeah, I mean that's good, man. Because I mean, like I said, like some people just their expenses are way above that.
Absolutely.
And like I said, the middle class is already shrinking. So you're adding this on an already sick economy, man. It's going to cause turmoil. It's going to cause a lot of people to lose their tempers. You know what I'm saying? So what they're trying to do is keep everybody settled. Because like I said, we're on the brink of chaos, man. You know, and we got to keep as calm as possible. Like, you know, our people, we've been through struggles before. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
we know how to sustain. Yes. You know what I mean? We know how to you know, bounce back after a while.
I agree.
So, you know, but other people, man, you know, they might want to take their life. You know what I mean? Because they've never been in this place before. Absolutely. You know, they lost their job. You know what I mean? They got all this status they're supposed to have. You know what I mean? And some people just can't deal with that type of stuff, man. But, you know, my biggest thing is that I hope that we can recognize what's going on as far as, you know, working these jobs who look at this as a number. You know, because everybody got laid off, or you know, some people even got fired.
Yeah,
already.
The non-essential workers.
Yeah. So I mean, it just goes to show you how, you know, you can be so loyal to something and still may not be loyal back to you. You know what I mean? Because we talked about it a little bit before about how we have that industrial age. Like we no longer work a job where we take care of the rest of our life.
Can you explain what's going on right now? Currently, we're in the informational age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we actually transitioned from the industrial age. Can you pretty much speak on that? Yeah.
So I mean, we are in the Aquarian age too, where we are in the age of knowledge.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you know, like I'm vegan now.
It's in our hands.
Yeah. So it's like we want information now. like, and that's making us better overall as people.
Yes.
So instead of like just working a job, like people are finding different ways to make income without having to, physically harm themselves in the job they don't like or stress themselves out to where they don't want to be here anymore. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are waking up to that, and we just question this things more, man. We're getting more healthier, and this is a good time, especially eating healthy right now because with this pandemic going on with this virus. The healthier you are, the better off you're gonna be. Mucus buildup. A lot of that comes from your dieting. You know what I mean? Like I've been vegan for 5 years now, so
yeah,
I'm very conscious.
Too,
I'm very conscious.
Good.
I appreciate it. But I'm very conscious on food and when I put in my body now. And then also it's a vibe too. You know what I'm saying? Like your thoughts are more clear. I didn't know how much or how detrimental meat was until I cut it out. You know what I mean? And like I said, all this stuff is coming full circle. You know what I mean? We're just learning who you are as a person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right now, who do you think are more impactful, employees or entrepreneurs? Or is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to. I mean, we have a problem now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So the way you create jobs and opportunity is finding solutions to these problems. So whether it's educating them through consultation or filling these voids that we need. You know what I mean? You got restaurants, man. Like I don't know what's gonna work out with the restaurants because they can't have people in them right now. They're doing pickups and stuff right now, but you're still paying for a physical location.
Dining in.
Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of game changers that are taking place. I mean, definitely other business models can penetrate now and come up with different ideas to answer these problems that they have as far as people having social distancing and still being able to run a functional restaurant. So yeah, I think entrepreneurs are going to be big this time right now. Because business is going to crumble. Like my man Nip said, giants going to crumble. And I've been saying that for a while, and this before the pandemic. It was going to happen anyway.
Right.
This will happen. This was the Black Swan event that did it.
Wow.